In today's video, we are going to be breaking down Kyle Trask and how he is able to throw the football so accurately, and of course, because also I think he's going to be one of the top draft picks in this year's NFL draft. Let's get down and let's check out Kyle Trask. So in this first clip, what we are looking at is a quick throw that he is going to do now. From here, what do we see? So first he is backpedaling, and what I really want to focus on right now is how he is holding the ball. So of course he has two hands on the ball, of course, because there is always that chance of players coming from behind and of course tackling him, sacking him, but this is also a very comfortable stance. You do not want to be all tense and tight when you are backpedaling. You want to be nice and comfortable and nice and set so that when you throw that ball, there's not going to be an issue with arcing it out. When he is backpedaling, what we do see is just before he goes into his forward momentum, he hops into a nice wide stance. He has a 45 roughly degree angle towards the forward position, which is going to give him a nice transfer of power from the energy that it took to get back is now being transferred forward onto his front foot. Now, from there, when he then goes into the ready stance to throw the football, he hops a few times. This is allowing him to stay up on his toes, which is going to be able to get him to then get into his throwing position, his throwing stance a lot faster. From here, what he does is a quick transfer from his back foot up to his forward foot that is on his toes. He is now up on his toe on his rear foot, and now at this point in time, he starts to square up his body towards where he is going to throw. Always remembering that you want to throw ahead of the man who you are passing to. From here, we see that from that transition of power from his feet up into his hips are also turning to square up towards his receiver, and same as his shoulders. Now, with this follow through that he is now lining up where he is going to throw. That shoulder is getting in line with that elbow. It's very similar to basketball where you're trying to get the shoulder and elbow in line with the net. It's very similar when you're a quarterback throwing that football. Of course, when we do turn back a little bit, we also do see his head pointing in the direction as to where he is throwing, but keeping in mind that he most likely also is keeping an eye on other players in his peripheral vision. From there, when he does transfer that power and goes into his follow through, he is now crossing his body with his arm at a 45 degree angle down. He also releases that football right before he completely outstretches his arm. This is going to allow him to release that football quicker, but also get a lot of rotation on that football, in which to be able to get that ball into and to that defender nice and quickly. And we can see that rotation when we are scrubbing through the footage right here. Now in this clip, what he is throwing to is this player who is cutting across the end zone right here. And we see the same throwing mechanics once again. He gets his hips and shoulders lined up to the player he is throwing to. And we can see that he is lining up his shoulders in front of that player who he is throwing it to, aiming to throw right here. This is going to allow him to have a very accurate throw. And by having your shoulders and hips line up, really transferring that power from that right foot up his body into his upper body and into his throwing arm, is going to allow him to get that rotation on that ball. We also see that when he is about to release, that elbow and shoulder are also in line into where he is going to throw. This is a very good throwing stance and will get a ton of touchdowns and a ton of yardage at the NFL level, in my opinion. Let's also remember that Kyle Trask is also a very good rushing quarterback when it comes down to it. Now, even when he's being rushed and he just wants to do a quick lob throw to a defender, we also do see that he is able to square up his body to his receiver to be able to throw that ball. No matter what circumstance you're in, you want to be able to square up your body to your receiver. I hope that this video has helped you become a better quarterback in football. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in our next video.